Hey, what's going on, everyone? Eric Rossi, the guy with the eye, here today to talk about drone flyaways and my tips and hopefully helpful comments can help you in that situation, because guess what? It is a bit scary. So if you've been flying along with your drone UAV, then all of a sudden, it just goes all over the place and you lose control, you don't know why. Here are some of my tips to help out in this situation. My number one tip is to be educated and to do this research that you're doing right now, hopefully. And hopefully this, never happens to you, but be educated and really practice before you go crazy. You're investing a lot of money into these drones and UAVs or whatever you want to call them, $500, $1,000, $1,200. If you want to go to the Inspired series right out the back, all power to you. One of the big things I would recommend is just learning on smaller options of these, like the little Cheerson drone I just threw over my shoulder. It's smaller, you can get used to how it moves, the controls, and how to fly inverted, or get something bigger. I think one's called the SEMA. It'll hold better in the air. You won't have to worry about really controlling it necessarily. It'll hover a bit better, and just learning that way before you go investing a lot of money into these, because you might find that A, you don't like it, you're not out all that money, and B, you'll really get used to all the controls. So the other part of being educated about this is also learning how to fly. So do your first flights, but I recommend doing circuits, and that's one of the biggest things. And I mean circuits by doing like square units. So as soon as you first get up, don't even go that high, maybe go just a little bit over 6 feet, 7 feet, just to get a little bit off the ground. You're still safe, you're still under tree levels. Do these in open fields and do these boxes in the air. So when you first get up, make sure you're facing the right way, go forward, left, backwards, right. You're essentially just making a shape. So we like to do square circuits just so you can get movement of front, back, left, right in an environment, and then do circle circuits so that way you kind of get more of a moving angle. That's some of the biggest things that I can recommend off the box. So banking off of that, it is staying in beginner mode as you first get off of these, because it is one of the most important things that you don't crash a drone, break it if you don't have insurance on it or anything. So you really have to learn how to work with it. And there are limits on these modes for a reason. Like the DJI standard, I think you can't go over 100 or 120 meters high, which is still a lot of height, but you won't necessarily go very high. Chances of losing GPS signal, all depending on whichever one you're using. So stay on these beginner modes, because it will limit you the way you should. And that's very important. And for heaven's sake, please, one of the first things you should do, like ice skating, how to get up when you're falling, is learn how to shut off the rotors, the blades, so that way, if you can come down, you can land really quickly, so to prevent other breakage or hurting anyone. Learn how to shut off your rotors. It's pretty important. A lot of them, you just kind of flick these sticks inside or outside at the same time, kind of the same way you start them up and take off, and just learn. It's very important. And when in doubt in a flyaway situation or an emergency, definitely always throttle up and just go up. You want to avoid hitting people, cars, or anything. You'd rather maybe get into a tree than really hurting someone, and that's when insurance will kick in. If you're pretty advanced or seasoned at this point and you're really into it and you've never experienced a flyaway, loss of connection, GPS, or Wi-Fi, or light bridge, one of the most important things actually could be flying in headless or ADI mode, be it you have more control. You're not limited to anything. Beginner mode can get you pretty restricted, but if you're into more of these manual controls, like I like to fly in ADI mode a lot, you are able to control your drone a lot better in regards to its range and height and what you can do with it. So learning how to work with that is definitely important in these situations. Taking manual control is something that's great. You can try and play with the automatic land features and everything, but if you're losing connection, it's probably not going to be as reliable as being able to take the sticks yourselves and at least getting it closer to the ground if no one's around. And I can't harp on that point just enough, and it is really bringing it down. I don't want to say slowly. I want to say if you're really experiencing terrible connections or you're really getting a bad flyaway, you want to bring it down pretty fast, but bring it down, make sure you're pretty controlled. If anything, try to keep going, rocking back and forth, going forward if it's pulling you backwards, but do it slow, do it controlled. But if you can get it down a little bit faster, I'd highly recommend doing that, but only if you're controlled. If not, I'd recommend fighting kind of how it's taking you and bringing it down ever so slowly. And then if you really have to, if you can't shut the rotors off or anything, land it into some kind of bush or something like that. Those are really all the big things, but the other thing is the maintenance of everything. And I guess this should be kind of higher up on the list. I mean, this is in no specific order, but definitely make sure your battery levels, your signal strength of your GPS is very, very, very important. You always want to have over 8 to 10 satellites per connection, all depending on what you're using. That's especially what they recommend with the DJI series of drones. So make sure you have the best connection, make sure your controller is fully charged, and that your batteries are you know, at least 80 to 90% when you take off, and make sure you have warnings on when they're at 20 or 30%, which you can set on pretty much any of these UAVs and drones right now. So hopefully this video helped you out at least in a little bit and just getting you to think of some certain things as things hit the fan, because these things, they'll drift, they'll fly away. I've already had one experience, and that's what prompted me to make this video, and it was because it was my stupidity. I didn't check the satellites, and I lost a little bit of connection, and it scared me, but I read a lot of this in advance to know what to do. So hopefully my heeds of warnings and advice can help you out there as well. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave those down below. I'll do my best to answer those. Thank you so much for watching this video. If this helped you out, please share this video. It will definitely help out someone else as well. Give us a quick thumbs up to show that you watched all the way through, that you're a dedicated viewer, and I truly appreciate. Eric Rossi, the guy with the eye. Fly away, fly safely.